I just like the explosion of when it goes in my mouth. So what is that? That's the caffeine, right? What were you doing, scissor?
Pause.
Oh, man, I thought I was at work with, oh my gosh.
Now, back to Steiny and Guru on 95.7 The Game.
All righty, Matt
I was
Simons,
talking to Willard.
Daryl the Guru Johnson, along with Mark Willard and Dan Dibley. What's up, gentlemen?
Great job yesterday with Coach Kerr, man.
Oh, thanks.
I was on the bar, and that answer, you doubled back.
Well, we weren't.
That was despondent. Can I say, would that qualify for that feeling he had on that answer?
It was uncomfortable. And again, what are they supposed to say? But we, like, that was my position was, I knew darn well what he was going to say, but sometimes I feel like you need to do that to hear how they're going to say it, not what they're going to say.
No doubt.
And I wasn't, again, same thing I said yesterday, I wasn't asking for information on what's going on with Andrew, but more sort of like a timeline of when. And I think that that's what this whole story has now become, which is managing expectations. And I know that they're answering it the way Andrew wants them to answer it, but by the same token, and I think they do understand, when you answer it that way, you're opening yourself up to have to answer the same question that you can't answer every day.
Oh, man.
Right.
So after the game tonight, what's the first question?
Oh, no doubt.
Is he playing tomorrow? And then no. Sunday? And so how long are we going to do this? You know, like
as long as we did last year, right?
Yeah.
25 games?
Sure. And
now, Dibs hasn't had a chance to weigh in on this.
Yeah, no doubt. I texted when you in today.
I think about Tracy Chapman and
Fast Car.
Steiny. No, not Fast Car, because Steiny and I go deeper on the album. But they had a song. She has a song called "If Not Now, Then When."
Wow.
If not today, then why make your promises? And they've made no promises. But if not now, then when is where I am with Andrew Wiggins. And in terms of where we are with his return, I think it's over. I think he will never be a Warrior again.
Wow.
I think the year's over, and I think that they get to the offseason and they find a way to either part ways or move on. I don't think that
What gets you that? Why would you feel that strongly?
Because last time he had this situation, and we don't know what it was, and I heard people on your show,
Trish, and I thought she said it was it. I said I don't know.
We had a wild range of, his father has passed away to he has sickle cell to... Like, nobody knows.
Yeah.
So to sit here and try to play the what is it game, to me, is a waste of time. The reality is he's out. And last time he was out, he was gone for half a year?
25 games.
25 games. And how many more do they have left in the year?
About that.
Okay. So
that's amazing.
And
I say this with no judgment, because whatever he's going through is real. And I feel bad for him, and I feel bad for the team, and I feel bad for whoever is touched by this absence, but I look at a second absence of this type.
25 games again left.
Right.
Wow.
So he's got 25 left, and he missed 25 before, so you get to the end of the year, and if he doesn't play again, then maybe he won't play again. Not only for them, but maybe for anyone.
You know what I was thinking on the short term, where you're like, they're going to get asked about it. In the short term, they're going to get hammered. They're in New York, first of all. And that media will ask about Andrew Wiggins, and then they're going to Toronto, where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
There might be writers up there with a little more insight. Like the next 2 days, they're gonna get asked about it a lot.
Then they go to Boston.
Well, man,
and he was the second best player when they beat him 2 years ago.
Right.
And I asked this to Mark off the air, and I wasn't sure if he knew or if you know, but is he on the trip? Do we know?
We do. I'm assuming he's in Toronto, but
I don't know where he is.
That is wow.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
I don't know.
I'm not trying to make a joke out of it. I just was wondering.
They haven't said, and they
yesterday
won't.
I was in Martinez waiting on court, and
so we know where you are.
Right.
You were in Martinez.
Yeah. I
stopped by the lane?
Jury duty. No, I should have stopped by the lane.
Should have popped by Whiskey Lane.
I should have, but,
They didn't keep you, huh?
I'm dealing with a baby. No, and I'll save it for tomorrow on what's bugging me. But
tomorrow.
Jury duty's bugging me. Jury duty's bugging me.
I mean.
No, you know what? You want me?
That's an old
You
standby.
got me. You got me. You want me? You got me. Don't play games with me. Don't play games with my emotions.
Yeah, it's hard to walk away from that $18 per diem.
Well, I had a dead-end job.
Yeah.
Willard, I had a dead-end job, and they dismissed me, and I wanted answers. I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
Well, what about me you didn't like? It was a murder
Jury
case.
duty is like dating. It really is.
Why?
I mean, well, just
What did I do? Was my halitosis?
call me tomorrow. Call me tomorrow, and we'll see.
Dude.
And then you call them tomorrow, and they're
Let's
like,
save it for tomorrow.
I
and
don't
what's
want to
bugging
answer
me.
that.
Let's save it for tomorrow. Atco Pest Control, what's bugging me on a Friday?
He told me he would call me. He hasn't called me yet.
Am I being negative if I say, Willard and guys, there's nothing positive that could come? Even Moody could play like Magic Johnson. This cloud, if Dibs is not right, or if he's correct, he doesn't come back. What? How do you lose a guy? I know he hadn't reached his potential, but damn it, come on, man. And you're at the 10th seed. I just can't muster up. Go get him.
Well, the problem is that even those of us, because Dibs knows this, I'm not a cynical person, but even those of us who are not cynical, the cynicism starts to come up. Because if you just inject the exact same feelings that you had last year, there's a piece this time where you're like, again? Like, right? Again? And then, how about this? I was curious about this last year. I didn't say anything about it because, like, I just didn't think it fit at the time. Like, why was it okay suddenly at playoff time? And is that what we're going to do again? Like,
You mean his issue?
right.
He came back for the playoffs.
Why was it suddenly okay at the playoffs?
Right.
And do you understand why that's sort of like, right? Like, was that just accidental? Like it finally,
Or coincidental.
coincidental? Like it finally, whatever it was, had sort of been rectified and playoffs, or were you actually ready 2 or 3 weeks before, but they didn't want to like risk injury? You're ramping up that process, whatever. And is that the way that it's going to play out again? Because that's sort of, I think that people would be fair in asking questions about that, because it's like if the priority suddenly is okay because playoffs, then I think people would be fair to be like, no, it should be a priority before that.
Right.
It should be a priority before that because you have a job to do.
Sure.
And I say that without having any idea what the hell
No,
is going
and
on.
nobody has any idea, which is why. And
We just know he's gone.
And Mark and I talked about this off air, where the fact that we don't know makes it more of a thing than if we did know. Like Draymond Green, we saw him swivel punch Yusuf Nurkic, and we saw that he got suspended indefinitely. And we could say, all right, he's out for 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever it is. We knew what that was, and we knew he was gone until he was able to come back. Yeah. And we knew when he was able to come back, he'd be back. We don't know what this is. He might play in Toronto tomorrow. He might not ever play again. He might show up at halftime against New York tonight. He won't, but you get my point?
Yeah.
We don't really know, and because we don't know what it is, when it is, why it is, or how it is, it becomes a bigger thing
no doubt.
Than if we knew what it was.
And that's the thing about this to me. There's so much going on. I mean, we had Danny Green on. He's our Odyssey NBA insider. And he said something where, what's the team? And he said, well, I don't know that everybody on the team knows exactly what's going on. So he allowed for the fact that some people might not know what's going on. Well, another question I had is, the timing. It is coming at about the same time as last year.
Yeah.
That to me is interesting. We don't know if he's getting paid or not. Maybe he's not even getting paid. Maybe he said, I don't even care about And also the other thing is we don't know if a month ago he went to Steve Kerr and said, I think I'm going to need some time off around this time, or it happened Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, 7 days ago, he's sitting there going, I feel great, and it looks like
his daughter's at the game.
And we found something, and it might be special. So that doesn't seem to add up. That makes me feel like this kind of did come out of nowhere. So anyway, with all of this, I figured we need maybe a different perspective, because we're all sitting here going to say the same thing, which is that there are pieces of this that are frustrating, head-scratching, make you want to ask questions, but you have to do so in sort of a way where you're like, but we don't know what's going on, and so stay sensitive to it. So I just spent like the second half of your show.
I saw you in there.
Texting.
Grinding.
Ex-athletes.
And
asking how they would feel if this was their teammate. And so I won't go into any of the specific ones yet. I've gotten a bunch of responses. It's actually
Saved
interesting.
for 2 to 6.
But isn't that even a tough question for them to answer? Because they don't know.
Correct.
Right.
However, but I was just like, here's the scenario. You have a teammate who stretch run of your season,
Oh my God!
Again.
battling for the playoffs for the second year in a row, is gone for personal reasons. How would you feel?
Grind.
And you're right, they don't know. And so, yes, a good majority of the responses have kind of been like, A, either I'm going to just show total compassion, or B, there's kind of it depends on the guy. Meaning, like, what does this person mean to the team? What has he done before? Right. That kind of thing. There are a few answers, though, of like, either you tell us what's going on or I'm out. I'm out on this. And there are others that have suggested that this means that the team is not a priority to this person. And so
this is the one where, sorry, Goo, and I'll keep it short. I mean, this is where he is private. There's no doubt. But this is working against him as it relates to all the speculation. There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah. And I love this team. I have a relationship with this team. I am a fan of the team, Willard, and I'm tired of people trying to make me feel like a monster because I'm out in the bushes at Wiggins. No, it's not that. And I got to be careful here. I'm not taking any offense to the privacy part of this. But when you have people spend money on tickets, emotionally attached, this is what the Warriors are, their escape from reality. I mean, this is the second time and nobody knows anything. That's just peculiar. And I would never compare myself to an NBA professional. But what we do here is pleasing to some, and we have a fan base. And when I'm not here, and it does happen, I just me, I'm not a pro athlete.
Right.
Steiny's like, hey, I'm not going to mention nothing. I tell him, it's just me now. I feel like I owe it to the people that tune in to hear us. Just let them know what's going on.
Right.
And death is not a secret. And I just don't get, it's Willard, I guess I'm saying this. The fact that it's top secret almost brings what you don't want to this. If you just kind of, I ain't saying what's your address, but just something. This is the same exact time as last year. I think the team, we don't know what they're dealing with and the air out of the room.
As we know.
This has to be hurt.
If somebody gives you an address, you're going to go to the wrong house anyway. But I just...
about the Stewart.
No, but
that was my girl.
No,
I'm not.
I know that here's what I would do, though. We can all think of, like, let our mind go to something really bad and then go, ooh, I'd feel bad if I found out a week from now that was it, and I was ripping him the week before. I always stop short. This is just me. I stop short of the fans are owed information. Here's what I would say. I feel like the Warriors and Andrew Wiggins, the way they're handling it creates a harder issue for them than it necessarily needs to be. You don't need to tell us what's going on. That's not our business. And that to me, it's not owed to us. But if you're going to do we expect him back, but it could be a day or it might be 3 months. We don't know. If you're going to do that, I think they're making life harder on themselves because we're going to ask every day. And it's all about managing the expectations of whoever you're talking to. So it might even be better just to buy them a little time. Like if this is that serious, I would just come out with a line of like, look, Andrew's going to be out a little while.
Yeah.
Even just that right now.
Sure.
And let us think that, okay, we can ask again in 2 weeks.
I was saying
a
couple
month or
of
whatever,
weeks.
Something like that.
Whatever.
The way they're answering it right now, as we said, they're going 7:30 tonight. We're going to ask again.
Exactly.
Maybe.
And, I think about our staff, and, Steiny missed 2 weeks, and we know why, because he said so.
That's
man.
No, you missed time.
I missed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I missed a week and a half.
It felt like 2 weeks because we love you
but
so
people
much.
knew what. I know.
No. It was the happiest time I've had here on 95.7. So I thought it was longer than it was. You were gone, and you had college trips, and you've had deaths in the family, and Joe Shasky, and our thoughts are with the Shasky family today. Especially as they lay Papa Shasky to rest.
Great call.
And so,
We mentioned it.
Not that we need to know, but it definitely makes us as listeners and fans of the roast and fans of Steiny and Guru, it allows us to feel a certain kind of way. And when you think about Andrew Wiggins, we don't know how to feel. either you feel on the one hand like, oh my God, it's a nothing burger, you're so soft, or it must be something like so terrible, take all the time you need. We don't know how to feel. And so, yes, Mark, you're right. They don't owe us anything, but as a consumer, it's always a little bit more, I guess, convenient, and it's what we want to do when we have, you're fans of something. You want to know what's going on. You want to be able to feel some kind of way about what you're feeling.
I just think it's timing. Sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. We could also spin it to, I think Moody's going to be the guy who's going to fill in for him. And you said something. Is there any way? And I know you're going to be like, well, this doesn't sound like Steiny. There can always be a positive. Always can be a positive.
Who are you?
Exactly. To me, if Moses Moody plays well, it could be better than the way Wiggins has played overall this season. I know that she's had a chunk of games where he's been okay.
Well,
he's never going to be the player Wiggins was 2 years ago, the second best player on the team, but I do think there's a scenario in which Moses Moody fills in, and the production that he gives might be better than the overall production Wiggins is given, and then we'll see. I'm not giving up on the season.
No.
Because Andrew Wiggins may not play again. I'm not.
You made this point earlier. I agreed with it completely. They've been playing too many people. And this time of year, that's got to stop. Steve even said it to us yesterday. He goes, I'm in an 11-man rotation right now. And
he was never one of them that was playing too much.
Right. Now, if you were going to pick one, right, and if you're right, but if you were going to pick someone who needed to not be in the rotation anymore, Andrew would not have been that person. But now he is. And so maybe it's time to start shortening this up. Like you're in a stretch run. You're hoping to end up in the playoffs. You can be playing 11 people in the NBA. What the hell are we doing? So you're right. Subbing in someone who was not part of the 11 means maybe they're still 11. I don't know, but they needed to, they needed to shorten this up anyway. The concern is something that Jason told you guys. Tim, right? Am I saying that right?
He's great.
He's great, and he pointed out that this is now, it's almost a la prior to the Warriors getting Durant. When a shot clock is down, the Warriors, they have nobody.
Shot creation.
They have nobody who can create their own shot.
Me too.
Oh,
Steph can do it a little bit. Kuminga can get to the free throw line, but somebody that can just drive and shoot, they'll miss that.
Wiggins can bail you out from the perimeter.
Oh, my goodness.
He can. That doesn't mean he's going to make every shot, but he might make 2 out of 5, 2 out of 6. I'm not going to fight you on that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I tell you what, if I had 800 radio shows and I did 17 well, Guru would stick up for me and say, boy, you had a good stretch. You had a hell of a stretch that February in
Dibs' delight was
2016.
It's been a good week for you.
He looked active.
I'll give you 4, not 17.
Yeah, Wiggins looked active, that's all.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Steiny.
His legs were, I was starting to see something.
No, it's great. And Steiny's point, though, that I heard on the way in, and he's right, in general this year, he's been terrible.
I got that.
So let's not look at a small sample size. Don't be small sample size, Steve.
But when you're hoping you'll take anything,
That's my guy.
this is the best cracker I ever got.
Hope springs eternal. Yeah. This one good cracker, but the 15 prior were stale and not as salty as you want. So, Wiggins has been good of late, and now what? Now he's gone. And just when he's starting to play well, he goes out again. So for me, it's more maddening than ever. And so if I'm looking at it, if I am Mike Dunleavy or Joe Lacob, I look at Andrew Wiggins as a past tense idea.
Wow.
I think it's over.
Now, I'm just asking a question here. The Warriors have been so firm with, we're going to answer this the way Andrew wants. I wonder if they don't start having a conversation about what they want and what they need. And here's what I mean by that. Like, if you're the Warriors, knowing that, this is a total unknown, but even if he is suddenly ready in 3 weeks, now there's the ramp up.
He just said it.
There's the, I don't know if this is going to fit. How are we playing before you come back? Would the Warriors, or should they discuss just being like, Andrew, take the rest of the year?
It's so hard to answer that when you don't know what's going on.
Right. I know, but even if you're them and you do know what's going on, knowing that it's going to take a while potentially, or it's going to be hard to inject him back in.
They did that last year, Willard. He's so good to me on a good day. But when you got good Wiggins,
I hear you.
I would roll the dice with that.
Look at his playoff numbers.
Oh, he
played a lot of minutes for the Warriors, especially against the Kings. He was playing 35 plus a night.
37, 39 Dibs. He was out there.
Those are big minutes that he gave them. And listen, I'm not in love with Wiggins, but Andrew Wiggins was a player who played 35 minutes a night as a starter. And he's good enough to be a starter on a team that advanced to the second round of the playoffs with him playing 35 minutes a night. That's not nothing.
But think about what they didn't have. That team did not have, or felt like it could not rely on Jonathan Kuminga.
Right.
That was one. That team did not have Brandon Pajamski. That team, I don't know if this is really relevant. That team didn't have Chris Paul. I did ask Steve, is this team more able to handle the absence? And he said, yeah. So
I think they are too.
Yeah, I agree.
Because of Kuminga mostly because for sure. But are you guys all for kind of keeping Moody in that starting lineup?
Yeah.
As opposed to bumping Clay back in.
I was
a
reward for Clay. Maybe
I think they want reward. I think they want to do this the rest of the year, but you got to see how it goes. But it's going well. It's going well. It'd be weird for Clay to be with Bonte after the game, be like, "This is amazing," and then change it the very next day.
Right. There's probably basketball reasons for this, but I just love the idea of having Chris Paul and Thompson coming off the bench together
against the twos. And you made a great point yesterday.
They're sitting next to each other.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're two Hall of Famers.
And Clay gets to play against a bunch of twos. Yeah. So you've got a 38-year-old Chris Paul, almost 39, and you've got Clay, and you got Saric, if you want, going up against usually younger guys and backups. If you can't make hay in that fashion, then I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And that's mainly the second quarter, first quarter, second quarter only. But Clay against the twos, sign me up.
All right, gentlemen. Well, you're going to take us to Warriors Live at 3:30, and then the tip-off's at 4. Stay tuned to 95.7 The Game, and we'll catch you all on the flip side tomorrow. Mm-hmm.